Hello and welcome to EMTV. Today we have two lovely guests with interesting stories. The first one is the winner of the Student of the Year Award, Hassnae Boubrik. And later with reporter Elliot Zepeda, we will talk about my problem, which is also a problem for many international students who don't have a last name. But let's start with the Student of the Year. So the election is not about academic achievements. It's about students who are doing their best to help others. And our guest today is the winner of the award this year. Welcome, Hassnae.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling a little tired.
Yeah.
It's a little early.
After the election, I think you got a lot of interest in you.
Yeah, and it was really just a very dynamic week overall. So it was a little hectic, and I still have to catch up on some sleep.
So how do you feel being the Student of the Year?
So I think the right word to describe it is the whole situation is thankful. I'm very thankful to be in this position and to be appreciated by so many people. I have very proud parents, and it does me very well, like very good to see them like this. And I think they worked hard to get us in this position. So it's really an appreciation to them in the first place as well.
Oh, that's nice. And you were nominated by your mentees, or in your own words, your babies?
Yes, my kids.
Your kids, your babies, yes. Can you mention a moment that you believe has made them nominate you?
Well, I don't really know because as Tessa from EM also said, I really didn't expect them to be the ones who nominated me. So I feel like it's just me being there overall. I'm at EMC a lot of the time, so when I see them, I always talk to them, and they really appreciate me being there. And yeah, I just really try to give them the right advice.
Yeah. But why were you becoming a mentor?
So I became a mentor because it felt very natural for me to help other people out. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of, it has been all in my upbringing and at home, and I didn't really have anyone, or like my assigned mentor didn't really help me out. And I just wanted to be a good mentor for a group of first years.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to be assigned to a group in the first place.
And are there times when mentoring is particularly challenging?
Yeah, there have been times when it has been challenging because I've mentored 24 kids.
Oh, that's why you won, because there are 24 people who nominated you.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know, but I think like you have a lot of people who hoping you win, and you won.
Yeah, well, so in those 2 years that I mentored kids, and I say kids, but they're like as old as me, and some of them even older. But I really feel like I have a part in their upbringing in their studies. So I feel like a parent.
Okay.
So
a proud parent.
Yeah, a very proud parent. But all of those 24 kids obviously have their own personal lives and problems, and some of them like really have been through some stuff. So it's very hard because I haven't had like any training. You don't get any training how to deal with those situations. So I found it challenging when one of my mentees came up with a really big problem, and I just really didn't know how to help out.
Because you are also involved in not only the academic part, but also the personal part of the.
Well, I think that's just a natural thing that happens because it's academic in the first place. That's why you don't really get any training because, you're there to tell them about your experiences academically, and you don't have a training. You don't need a training for that because you've been through it. Yeah. But eventually, when you like have a bond with them, you do get involved in their personal life as well, and that's a hard part because you try to have like a kind of a professional distance, but still try to help them out with advice.
Maybe you should learn psychology as well to be a good mentor.
I have to do a double degree psychology.
Also, during the speech, you mentioned about seeing more opportunities for Muslim women.
Yeah.
What were the particular challenges you faced as a Muslim woman in achieving your goals?
Well, I feel like I have my my social skills in my advance. So I have faced some challenges, but I feel like they're kept to the minimum. So
what kind of challenges?
So, for example, in my middle school, as I mentioned in my interview as well, I was in a I had a very homogenic environment, and I didn't really have someone who went through the same struggles as me, like having the same identities as me, and as I said, combining the for example, a religious identity with school. So I didn't even think about talking about a prayer room in school, or I don't know. I did have the day off for Eid, so for our celebrations, but it was really like nobody really understood, and it wasn't until I went to university that I really overcame those challenges, because then I didn't really have those challenges anymore, and I actually found out that so many other people struggled with it, being in a homogenic environment and not having someone who can relate with them.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was a really big challenge, because you're looking for your identity and you're trying to grow in those identities.
And you were young and you didn't know where to ask. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're young and you really get shaped by your environment. Yeah. So that was really hard, because you want an environment where you feel home. Yeah. And it's you don't if there aren't any people who relate to you. Yeah.
So up to more diversity.
Exactly.
And you are now a role model to young Muslim girls.
Yes.
What do you what kind of message would you like to send to them, to say to them?
Well, I think it's easy for me to give them a message in this position right now, because I'm not in the position of like actually like struggling with my identity as much as I was when I was younger. Okay, yeah. But I think the first message that I would want to say to them is that it's okay to struggle. It really is okay to struggle, and you are going to struggle, and it's even it's going to help you find your identity. So like if you struggle, it's part of the journey of having stronger faith or stronger identity in the long run. But also, I just want to say that for us to be able to be free in our religion and free in our identities right now, it's because other people have fought for us. So other people have expressed their identities in the like before us. So, for example, here on campus, we have a prayer room, and we have a place where we can sit. So that's because other people stood up and talked and said that we need this, and a lot of people are thankful for that right now. But just remember that the things that you do right now and the things that you normalize right now, it's only going to help the future generation. Yeah, exactly, the future generations.
And last question, talking about identity, how do you see yourself as a Muslim woman in a I don't know, in a white environment, in a homogeneous environment?
Well, for me, it's pretty easy. I do get along with a lot of people, like with I think almost everyone, and it's really because I have been in that environment, so I know how to I know how to socialize with everyone right now, and I don't want to give like a negative, how do you say, a negative vibe to white people or to a homogenic group. I think it's good that people find other people where they are, where they feel home. But I do feel like it's important especially right now, and especially in the medical field, to have representation. I'm gonna have to struggle and get through being in a very homogenic group to actually get to my goals.
Okay, so this is really last question, because it wasn't the last question. Do you think your field is diverse and inclusive enough now?
Well, when we speak about the medical field overall, no, because no overall, because I do feel like there are a lot of steps that have to be taken for us to be really representative, and there are studies being done right now and being published that are going to be published very soon about how many actual Moroccan women or Turkish women or women or people overall with other backgrounds is going to be published, and you're going to see that it's a very, very, very small percentage, and it's not in it's not representative with the people that live here in Rotterdam, for example. And if you go a little out of Rotterdam and a little out of Amsterdam, then you'll see that it's the diversity gets lost completely.
Thank you, Hassnae, for sharing your story, and good luck with everything that may come.
Thank you, Feba.
And Hassnae may be the student of the year, but every student should be proud of themselves. So that's why our video reporter went around campus asking, what do you deserve a medal for?
This week we award the Student of the Year. There are amazing nominees who have done great things for others, and therefore they each deserve a medal. But how about you? What do you deserve a medal for?
My outfit, definitely. Really proud of my style, so I think I should get a medal for my style and my outfit.
Do you guys agree with that?
Sure.
What do you guys think you deserve a medal for?
For being sexy? Yeah, I was about to say. Oh, yeah. For being perfect and being the best people.
For being funny. At least I have a good sense of humor. I don't know about you.
For surviving this master's year, for sure. It was very intense, so I'm happy I made it.
Any tips on how you survived the difficult period?
Coffee and meditation.
For being a loyal supporter for Arsenal.
So what do you think she deserves a medal for?
Probably just being on time all the time, like 10 minutes early. That's her. She'll always be there.
What do you think he deserves a medal for?
He's the GOAT at tennis, the German Roger Federer, I'd say right here.
Did you ever play against him?
Yeah, it was a painful experience.
Do you also think there's something that she deserves a medal for from your point of view?
No.
What do you think he deserves a medal for?
He's a great guy, he's just a great guy. All around, good worker, good man.
And what do you think she deserves a medal for?
For carrying me through all the courses and basically saving my ass in every exam there is.
The other way around, what do you think he deserves a medal for?
Same thing, man. Anytime I'm struggling with college, he helps me along, you know. He's a bit of an inspiration to me. He's worked so hard as well as where I get my drive from studying, you know.
The other way around, what do you think he deserves a medal for?
I think he deserves the medal for the sexiest voice on campus.
The question is, do you agree?
Yes, thank you. I'll take that honor. For surviving EUR for 2 years, I think that's a pretty good achievement. I think this university really makes its effort to overburden students and employ certain policies which do not really act towards the student to benefit themselves. So I think everybody who enrolled in this and got through at least 1 year really deserves a gold medal.
So we're back, and now we are with EM reporter Elliot Zepeda. He has been working on a story about a very annoying thing for international students. So Elliot, welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe we should start with stating that some international students don't have a last name. And so you have found out that many international are having a dot or a dash as first name in the document.
Exactly.
How did you discover this?
Yeah, so I was having dinner with a friend after coming back from exchange. It was the beginning of this first year. And it's our last year for both of us. We're both third-year students. And we were discussing our first-year experiences, how it was to come to the Netherlands, and thinking about, oh, remember when we did this, remember this, that, you know, like a trip down memory lane. And then my friend was telling me how her first year was very problematic and quite dramatic as well because of this naming issue. She said that her name in her first week in Rotterdam was misspelled as a dot, And she tried to fix it with so many institutions, the university, the municipality, and they didn't give her any solution. And they blatantly told her, this is how we do things in the Netherlands.
Okay.
So
Where does she come from?
she's from Egypt.
Egypt. Okay. So she doesn't have a last name?
I believe in their naming system in their country, yeah, it's all like one full name, right? So when she moved to the Netherlands, they weren't able, so the policy apparently is if you don't have an official last name column in your passport, then all of your full name will be in the last name column.
True.
So then her first name was blank, and then because of that, the university interpreted that as a dot, so they put a dot instead.
Yeah, I think it's because I also have the same problem. I don't have a last name. So my full name are placed in the last name column.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I am a dash. So you can call me a dash.
You're a dash, she was a dot, yeah.
She was a dot.
Yeah.
But what kind of inconvenience or problems does she encountered because of this?
Several, but the most relevant one was when taking an exam at the Van der Groot building, where the invigilator was constantly checking her name back and forth, like, are you really that person? And then it's because it's an alphabetical order room, so she couldn't find her place. Then also in classes, not this student in particular, but other Indonesian students were saying how other people mock them, like, why is their name doubled, or why is there a dot? Stuff like that. But beyond the pragmatic issues, I would say the most important thing is like the emotional aspect of things, because it's their name in the end, and not being named properly it really gives you an idea of not feeling welcomed in this place in this university.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine, because I also have the same experience. And it varies from funny to annoying, very annoying, because one time I couldn't even pick up my package at the post office because the name on the package and the name on my identity card is different.
Yeah.
So and what steps did because you talked to several students, right?
Yeah, to one Egyptian student, my friend, and then 3 other Indonesian students.
Yes,
yeah.
my mates.
Yeah, your fellow Indonesians. Yeah.
And what step did the student take to correct this?
So firstly, when they first identified there was an issue on Canvas, usually they would go to the university service desk, and then they would explain to them that the problem stemmed from the municipality of Rotterdam. So then they would go back to the municipality of Rotterdam. They would tell them, oh, we cannot fix this, and then they would go back to the university. So it was always like back and forth, like blaming, pointing the fingers to each other, so no one gave them like a proper solution.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was service desk, and then the municipality.
Yeah. So do you think this problem reflects a larger structural issue?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I talked to several Indonesian students, and they all had a friend or an alumni or someone who had this issue as well. So it's not every Indonesian student, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And this issue has been going on they've been telling me, like, alumni from 5 years ago already. So it's like ongoing.
Yeah, my time is more than 5 years ago. So
exactly, and it's surprising how after all these years they still haven't done any solution to this issue. Yeah.
But what should the university do to help the students? Because I can imagine this regulations is national regulations, and so I can imagine that the university couldn't do anything to help the students.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed in this university and this country in general, there's a lot of bureaucracy, but sometimes with that we forget the humanity that there is also in the system. So these are real human beings that we're dealing with, the real students. And if a student comes to you as a university with this personal issue, the least you can do, I think, is to provide them a solution beyond the rigid norms. Okay, there's a regulation, but like, if there's students struggling, they should provide a solution. Especially because as international students, we have to provide so many extra work, paperwork, proof of income and all these things. It's a really hazardous process, and we do the effort. So at least they can do, I think, is to acknowledge our presence here and welcome us by naming us properly, I think.
Yeah. I think I can imagine how the international students feel, because your name is part of your identity, right?
Exactly. So I think by acknowledging the humanity in this bureaucratic system would be a first step, I think.
Well, Elliot, unfortunately, we cannot solve the problem, but thank you so much for letting us know that this problem exists. in the first place.
Thank you for giving me a space to talk about this, and we hope a solution emerges from this.
Yeah, we hope so. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. This is the last episode of EMTV this academic year. We will see you again in the next academic year. And in the meantime, don't forget to go to erasmusmagazine.nl. Bye-bye.